What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and breaking news coming out just 11 minutes ago from the time of this recording. Take a look at these headlines. Congress passes a ban on Russian oil and gas imports, sending the measure on to President Joe Biden. And we're hearing that this bill passed with 100% support. Now, this is going to be impacting the prices of gas, the prices of food. This is going to be causing even more inflation, and this is going to be impacting everything. This is your stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and breaking news update, and we're going to be seeing how Congress is going to be responding to all of these increased prices, which we're hearing are going to continue to climb. Take a look at these headlines. A fertilizer shortage now, worsened by the war in Ukraine, is going to be driving up the global food prices and scarcity, as we're now receiving warnings about food not being on shelves in stores, and the prices are going to be going up. Now, in addition to that, take a look at some more news coming out. SNAP and Medicare ends in 37 states in the U.S. later this month. See the exact date that it will come to an end and where, as we're hearing that these benefits for food are also going to be ending at the same time. We're going to start having a scarcity issue as well, and all of this is being exacerbated by everything happening in Russia and Ukraine. So you guys, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, and if you missed my last videos, you might want to check them out, as we had some new breaking news coming out as the president is working away to try to get support so that way Democrats can stay in power in Congress. And also, we're hearing things have stalled with pandemic spending for that $10 billion, which is going to be stalling other pieces of legislation we heard they were going to be focusing on, including a revised Build Back Better bill and gas stimulus check updates. So a lot of stuff moving around, changing in Congress. I'm going to keep you up to date, but right now let's dive into the latest. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, and that is simply, if you appreciate the updates, if you could just take a second to smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, if you'd like to stay up to date, totally free, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you're notified right away. You can come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on that channel as well here very soon. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. All right, guys, so first up, link in the description below to this breaking news that just came out. It says Congress passes a ban on Russian oil and gas imports, sending the measure on to President Biden. And it reads, Congress on Thursday, today, passed a bill to ban imports on oil and gas from Russia, the latest measure in the U.S.'s government-wide effort to economically isolate and penalize the Kremlin for its unprovoked invasion in Ukraine. Now, the Senate passed the legislation 100-0 in a vote in the Senate, passed unanimously earlier today on Thursday. The House then approved it in a 413-9 vote, almost unanimous in the House as well, and sent it on to the president's desk to be signed into law. So almost every member of Congress passed this through and agreed. The bill prohibits the importation of oil, gas, coal, and other energy products from Russia. It comes nearly a month after Biden signed an executive order that mandated essentially the same steps. Now, the bill codifies Biden's order into law, making it far more difficult for a future president to reverse it. The legislation passed after having been bogged down in the Senate for weeks. Now, the oil import ban passed immediately after overwhelming approval of the bill to revoke Russia's permanent normal trade relationship with the United States. So this is breaking permanent normal ties with Russia's trade, often referred to as the most favored nation status. The legislation would also sever the normal trade relationship with Belarus, a key Russian ally. This package is about bringing every tool of economic pressure to bear on Vladimir Putin and his oligarch cronies, said Representative Ron Wyden in a statement on the measure. Putin's Russia does not deserve to be a part of the economic order that has existed since the end of World War II. Major breaking news, you guys. So, putting their foot down in Congress almost unanimously that they stand with Ukraine. They do not support what's happening with Russia and the war that is being imposed on Ukraine. And this, though, is going to be impacting everybody economically. And right now, we're hearing that there is issues with food and shortages coming up. But first, take a look at this, you guys. Act now. SNAP and Medicaid end in 37 states later this month. See the exact date that it will come to an end and where. Now, the article reads that SNAP and Medicaid benefits will expire in 37 states and one territory and the D.C. area on April 15th. Now, this is due to the public health emergency declaration that's going to be ending on April 16th, unless the Biden administration decides to extend it out even further. Now, what were the SNAP emergency benefits? Well, formerly known as food stamps, SNAP provides a minimum of an extra $95 to its beneficiaries, and this money was deposited onto an EBT card, which can only be used at approved retailers. Now, when a state's emergency declaration ends or when the federal emergency declaration ceases, the additional funds will be taken away. This means that 37 states and one territory and the DC area would also lose additional funding for this program if America is no longer in a PHE. When emergency allotments end, benefits will drop by at least $95 per month or more per household. SNAP recipients are given a month's notice when the EA will stop. Now, what states are already cutting this off? Well, the following states are no longer providing emergency allotments or have given notice to their beneficiaries. So we're hearing that food prices are going to be increasing, but these benefits are going to be going away, sort of worsening the problem. That is going to be that's going to be Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, last EA in May, Iowa, last EA in March, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, North Dakota, Tennessee, South Dakota, West Virginia, last EA is in May. States not listed are either still approving emergency allotments for April or are awaiting approval for funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, who oversees SNAP. And SNAP recipients do not have to do anything additional to receive emergency allotments, as it is deposited directly onto the EBT cards. So that is taking place right now. Now, in addition to that, we're hearing that there's fertilizer issues now, which are going to be increasing the scarcity and the prices of food across the globe as well. Take a look, you guys. Link in the description below. A fertilizer shortage worsened by war in Ukraine is driving up global food prices and scarcity. Now, the article says that a fertilizer shortage has added to growing concerns about the Ukraine's war's impact on the price and scarcity of certain basic foods. Combined, Russia and Belarus had provided about 40% of the world's exports of potash, according to Morgan Stanley. Russia's exports were hit by sanctions. Further, in February, a major Belarus producer declared in a statement that it wouldn't be able to uphold its contracts due to forces beyond its control. Now, Russia also exports 11% of the world's urea, 48% of its ammonium nitrate. Russia and Ukraine together export about 28% of fertilizers made from nitrogen and phosphorus, as well as potassium, according to Morgan Stanley. And disruptions of those shipments due to sanctions and war has sent fertilizer prices skyrocketing. High grain prices are also rising even more. It's a huge problem, said CF Industries CEO Tony Will in a recent CNBC appearance. He said global fertilizer supplies are very tight. CF manufacturers and they distribute fertilizer. It's a confluence of factors, unprecedented demand coupled with a huge fall off in supply availability, only just exacerbated by war in Ukraine and what's going on with exports coming out of Russia and Ukraine, Will added. So this is going to be contributing to sky-high prices. We're hearing that they're going to be skyrocketing even further. So with this going on, SNAP benefits ending and everything taking place, and now also a unanimous bill going through the Senate to even further oppose sanctions and stop trade with Russia, we're going to be seeing how Congress responds to this, because this is going to be impacting economics substantially. And we're going to be seeing if they decide that it might be time to send out more direct payments, more assistance to help out people, because it looks like more high prices are going to be on the way. So there you have it, you guys. That is the latest. Now, as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to let you know. There is a lot starting to happen and unfold, and we're expecting this to actually pick up speed as we get closer to the midterm elections. We're expecting to see Congress wanting to move legislation faster, show the American people that they can get things done, and I'll keep you up to date on everything that takes place. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second to smash that like button if you appreciate the content. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, totally free, come join the Ram fam, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.